Chapter 7. Second Saturn Return. Congratulations, you have been blessed with receiving the gift from Saturn for a second time. Many of humans who experience a first Saturn return at the same time as you are not here anymore. So, let's appreciate life, that we are still here, and prepare for what's next. Preparation is the main theme of a second Saturn return. Preparation for what is inevitable. You owe it to your true self, and you owe it to your older self. During your second Saturn return, the energy of the elimination force of the cosmos will evaluate again all of the same areas as it did during your first Saturn return: relationships, marriages, emotional codependency, addictions, and rotten dreams. A person going through their second Saturn return might experience a similar situation at their first if they are also suffering from emotional codependency, material dependency, or if they are stuck with broken dreams that died many years ago. After all, it's been roughly 28 years since your first Saturn return, and much happened during those years. You were just trying to enjoy your life. But if a person experiencing a second Saturn return has matured beyond average, this person might avoid some of these sufferings borne by codependency and have an easier Saturn return. But Saturn tells us that there is always something to eliminate. The universe is composed by accumulation and elimination phases, from cycle to cycle, and our second Saturn return is an elimination phase we must go through to keep enjoying with much vitality and peace into the next phase of our great life. Collateral damage, anger towards society. Saturn says, let go of your anger towards society. Life is not always fair. Life is very complex. There are situations in which we had nothing to do with and still will feel the consequences of said situations. Here is the thing. The world is full of benign but also malign entities. Good and bad coexist, and we cannot get rid of the bad. Life will be fair at times, but life will be unfair at many times also. Everybody goes through that. Some people are just better at hiding it than others. Sometimes self-centered people take decisions that will harm other people as a consequence, but don't care and still do it, leaving hundreds, sometimes thousands of people with collateral damage. These people had no saying in the decisions one selfish person made, but now all of them have to deal with one of a few people's selfish decisions. It is sadly very common. I will not go deep into unfairness, because believe me, self-pity is like quicksand. You don't realize that you are slowly sinking into a trap that will be hard to get off of. I understand, yes, life is unfair. Some people just get screwed by other people, and it is 100% unfair, but unfortunately it is very common. It happens more often than not. The thing is, most people don't share their misfortunes or times when they get scammed or made a fool by others, because they fear judgment from peers or worse, shame. And I know this will not make you feel better, but everybody on this earth suffers collateral damage, everyone. It is impossible to be born on planet Earth and not suffer some form of unfair circumstance. Some people call it bad luck, some people call it a curse. Some people call it God's angry at me or something pitiful. It is true, bad things happen to good people and good things happen to bad people. It has always been like this, and it will always be like this. Radical acceptance tortures you at first, but then it sets you free. Accepting that the world can be unfair will temporarily polarize you into a depressive, feeling sorry for yourself type of mindset. It is okay, cry it out, your endocrine system needs it, but only temporarily. Don't be like those people who fall in love with self-pity and just like to indulge in daily lamenting of what could have been if so and so hadn't done this to me, or if such and such hadn't happened when I was such age. Collateral damage happens to everyone. It is part of the human experience because so many circumstances of the societies in which we are brought up and raised at, we have no control over. Saturn says, I know unfair things happened, but I will set you free. Let Saturn do its job. The cosmos is not always fair, but the cosmos gives us chances and opportunities through the North Node returns and Saturn returns to get our life in balance. If we want to experience new opportunities and possibilities for fulfillment later in life because we deserve it and want it, we have to work with the North Node. But for the North Node to help us build the life we want, we first have to let Saturn do its job. Saturn's job during your Saturn return is to make you realize that all that unfairness can either bury you in an adversity of injustice, or you can let Saturn eliminate it from your soul, so you can move on and keep trying new opportunities in your life. Ultimately, the choice is yours. Saturn has returned and you have two options. Option 1. You dig a hole of self-pity and feeling sorry for yourself and throw yourself at it. Permanent self-pity at the face of adversity or sadness will only worsen situations. Self-pity is a normal response of your endocrine system to regulate your hormones, but it should only be temporary and momentaneous. If you feel sorry for yourself for too long, you will inevitably set roots in a well-known, rotting neighborhood called victimhood. Some people are in love with their self-pity and victimhood. They make it part of their personality and they love how empathic people pamper to their constant needs and misfortunes. It is a way for them to get attention and validation from empathic people, who feel for them after the unfairness they might have experienced. Option 2. Understand that you have the right to be angry, you have the right to cry, you do have to cry, but only temporarily. You will not set roots in the victimhood neighborhood, you deserve better than that. Saturn wants to take you out of the victimhood and to give you a better improved neighborhood where you can spend the rest of your life comfortably at. Let Saturn do its job. Don't fall in love with the warming but trapping comfort of self-pity. Self-pity is the HOA president of victimhood. Crying will help you release all of those feelings of unfairness and injustice you have inside of you, all of those feelings on helplessness, let it out. You do have the right to cry, but then you have to stop crying and let Saturn take it out of this horrible, depressing neighborhood. You don't belong here, you are only here temporarily because of life can be unfair at times, but the cosmos wants to bring its balance, and bring fairness back into your life. Let Saturn do its job, so life can be fair for you again, you deserve it. Let go of all of the resentment that you have built because of other people's betrayal, using you or simply going above you to give to others what was meant to be yours. It's futile. There's so much we cannot control. And obsessing over how things should have been is a waste of time. Humans are cruel. Low empathy sociopaths are in charge everywhere. We are going to suffer by at least one of them at some point. You can't escape them, but you also shouldn't destroy yourself, just because they let you down. Don't let evil, selfish people destroy your life with unfairness. You don't deserve that. You deserve to rise from this and start anew, free from all the burden from selfish people. Let Saturn do its job and it will set you free. Regret. Saturn says, forgive your younger self. Regret comes in many forms. Things we did, things we didn't do. Things we did out of empathy, things we didn't do out of selfishness. Things we didn't do out of fear, things we didn't do out of resentment. Regret is universal and unavoidable. Regret leads to wisdom if you learn the lesson and then know what not to do next time. Your younger self had very unrealistic expectations. Your younger self was very smart, very ambitious as a young adult. Unfortunately, as she came from a background without a good network or guidance, there was so much she didn't know. And as she didn't know better, she made so many mistakes. Do not judge her. Being a young adult without network guidance will always end up in unrealistic expectations that will be extremely hard, if not impossible to fulfill. Your younger self as a young adult tried her hardest. She did the best she could with the limited amount of social knowledge she had at that age. She thought she was doing the best for her. Your present self knows that unfortunately that was not enough, nor the best option. And your future self knows even more stuff you in the present still don't know about. It's all a gradual process of learning and assimilation as a self-taught adult without a network for support or guidance from previous generations. Everybody wishes they had done things differently. If they had known back then what they know now, that's only natural. However, what is done is done. You are where you are, because of the decisions made by your naive younger adult self. The present you must react in the most rational way possible to the positive, but mostly negative consequences of your younger naive self decision-making. In due time, your future self will be where she'll be, because of your present self's decisions. Imagine what she wishes she could tell you, but that's not how it works. Your future self in due time will have to take rational adaptations to the positive and negative consequences you in the present are creating for her own present, your future. In summary, you in the present will always have to rationally adapt to whatever situations your younger self created. As a self-taught adult, you must understand that many mistakes have been made and will still be made. You are who you are, that's radical acceptance. You are an overachiever without a guiding network, that's radical acceptance. Sure, other people may have from birth network guidance, but they may or may not be overachievers. Sometimes people waste very good networks, and that is also radical acceptance. Let it go, don't let it ruin and rot your core. You don't deserve that. You in due time can become network guidance for future generations, and that's great. You are who you are. You are a self-taught adult without network guidance. That's radical acceptance, and that's great. Your younger self did great with the limited knowledge that she had at that time. Your present self is doing great with the knowledge you have right now and the adaptations that you are making. And your future self will do great with the assimilation she will have at that older age and with the many adaptations she'll be making at that time. Never be too harsh on yourself. That's futile and a waste of energy, mentally and physically. Saturn says, you're doing fine, but let's adapt. Breakups and divorces. The term silver divorce exists for a reason. Perhaps during your first Saturn return you felt as if your marriage was failing, but you decided to stay for your children or for financial reasons. This is very common. You endured a miserable relationship for decades now, but this time around is different. Saturn has returned for a second time. It evaluated your marriage again and realized that it is hurting your organic body through your nervous and endocrine system. You deserve better than that, and hence, here it is, Saturn again influencing you into ending this relationship for good. Saturn says, eliminate this from your life. You deserve better than this. This time around, your children are grown and hopefully you have now more free time to try and support yourself financially. The opportunity is now or never. The cosmos is in your favor. Saturn will aid you through this hard time, otherwise, nothing will change, because abusers never do, only pretend to change as you try to leave. Just a little warning for those of you who decide to leave an unhappy marriage: do not tell anyone. Be safe and do not announce that you are planning a separation or exit move. Stay quiet and organize your affairs to leave this damaging relationship to your best interest. The less people who know about your separation or divorce, the better it'll go for you. You do not owe anyone an explanation, not even to your soon-to-be ex-husband. We both know that you tried to communicate for years what needed to change in the relationship, so let's not keep wasting your saliva. Move in silence and be free. The cosmos is in your favor and Saturn will set the stage for you to have an easy exit. Trust the cosmos, trust Saturn. Time to embrace your true self. Your shallow self tried and did its best to conform to society's expectation of what adults should do, but your life is here and you have the right to keep dreaming as everyone else, while taking into consideration your priority number one, the health and stability of your body and mind. See through the lies and facades. You have spent 6 decades on this earth by now. Either you are paying attention or you just love lies. Saturn says, see through the lies and facades of society. Stop believing illusions and be free from societal expectations based on pure lies. Stop trying to impress fools. You're old enough now to keep playing that game. People love to pretend that they are better financially and that they have a higher social status just to impress fools. The car and the phone can lie about a person's financial situation, but the house and the shoes don't lie about the person's financial status. Many people spend all of their money resources on extras to impress other scarcity circulators. Many of these scarcity circulators have expensive cars and expensive phones, while living in squalor. I've seen it firsthand. They're all show, a facade. Their foundation possessions like their house and their shoes are low-quality possessions, because who they truly are is scarcity circulators, since their primordial foundation gut microbiome is sick. These same scarcity circulators who always accumulate excess first, almost never invest in their shoes or underwear. Their foundation clothing pieces are low quality, because that's who they are, scarcity circulators. Their houses reflect the health state of their primordial foundation gut microbiome. The uglier and dirtier the house, the uglier and sicker their gut microbiome. The car and the phone can lie and convince fools, but the house and the shoes cannot lie nor convince those who know better. Time to take care of your older self. Your mind is young and you have many dreams you still have the time to work on. However, the time to start taking care of your older self starts now. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your body. Be nice to your older self. That person is still a decade into the future away, but you do want to be that person. Only fools think they'll be young forever, while the wisest take care of their older self while still young. Prioritize your health now. Prioritize your body now. Saturn says, I know you're still young, but in order to stay young you need to pivot and start taking better life choices that impact your health. You start now, not when you feel old.